Tonight, all the focus is on the Senate floor. All day long, senators have been voting on amendments to Donald Trump's gargantuan tax and spending bill. Republicans are rushing to get the bill to Trump's desk in time for his Friday deadline. Now, Donald Trump wants you to focus on his campaign promises that are in the bill, extending the tax cuts from his first term, billions of dollars for border security, and eliminating taxes on tips and overtime. But let's level set about what else this bill will do. It would kick 12 million Americans off of their health insurance thanks to a $1 trillion cut to Medicaid. That is according to the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office. It would also potentially cut SNAP program by $300 billion by adding new work requirements. And the bill could devastate clean energy companies by stripping away subsidies and funding that was created during the Biden administration. And on top of all of that, the Senate bill would add at least $3.3 trillion to the national debt over the next decade. That is according to analysis by the CBO. Now, Republicans Thom Tillis and Rand Paul have already said they are voting no, which means the GOP can only afford one more no vote. And there are still a handful who are undecided, at least publicly. Of course, to meet the president's deadline, the Senate bill still needs to make it through the House. And we are already seeing some hardline conservatives in the House complain about the Senate's version. Can you guess why? Well, it's partially because of that $3.3 trillion deficit number. The House version of the bill would have added $2.4 trillion, and House Republicans insisted that price tag should not be changed. And that leaves us where we are in the vote-a-rama.
And listen, I'm really liking the border security and the Iron Dome for the country because we need to be protected from any type of invasion, from illegal immigrants to terrorists in other parts of the world. I mean, we need to look out for this country. It seems throughout the past couple years that people in political power have kind of neglected the security and safety of this country, that we've had so many types of events happen in this country that have killed so many people that we are ignoring the fact that we have no type of bulletproof vest or shield around this country. I think it's a great idea that we're starting to think more about protecting the safety of everybody that lives in this country, that contributes to this country. And listen, you know, so many people on the media, especially the liberal media, they're saying so many things that are going on with this big, beautiful bill that Trump proposed and has now passed. And, you know, if you go to the White House website, it tells you, it has a breakdown of the myths that the liberal media is pushing out to the American public versus the actual fact of what the actual bill delivers. I encourage, you know, a lot of people to really check this out.
We are in this. We are leaning on this. And without the tax cut that was put into place by President Trump in his first term, if that's allowed to expire today, if this bill does not pass, that hikes taxes for 68% of working Americans.
Right. And the biggest hikes would be for the lower household income. So, and also the pro-growth aspect of this, right? We want to grow this nation. We want to grow the economy. And taxes are a central part of that, particularly for corporations.
Hold the vice president breaking the tie right now, which means they had some no votes from those Republicans. This bill, the big, beautiful bill, has passed because the vice president of the United States, J.D. Vance, has come to the Hill more than once thinking that he would do this. And when he showed up this morning, they were right. He would be needed. He has done it.
We call it a great, big, beautiful bill because that's what it is.
But to Democrats, an ugly betrayal.
The bill before the Senate is utter poison.
940 pages that make up the foundation of President Trump's agenda. So what's actually in it? Start with tax cuts, a huge piece of this plan. As written, the bill would make the president's signature 2017 cuts permanent.
It's been an amazing experience.
The bill would also let people deduct more of their state and local income taxes for the next 5 years, which Republicans from blue states with higher taxes really wanted. And it would fulfill a Trump campaign promise by implementing no tax on tips, overtime, or car loans. On other issues, the bill boosts spending on immigration enforcement with more money for the border wall and for ICE. It beefs up military spending, including money for space programs and moving the historic Space Shuttle Discovery from blue-leaning Virginia to ruby red Texas.
The shuttle has cleared the tower.
And it calls for funding the so-called Golden Dome, a U.S. air missile defense system. But all those tax cuts and extra spending are expensive. So how's it being paid for?
We're cutting $1.7 trillion in this bill, and you're not going to feel any of it.
Critics say that's not even close to being true, considering the cuts the bill calls for to social safety nets that lower-income Americans rely on, with even some Republicans who voted to move the bill forward concerned.
If we're going to be a working class party, we've got to protect working people. And I just, the Medicaid stuff in here, I think is bad.
New requirements and restrictions for Medicaid could make it harder to earn its benefits, effectively, experts say, kicking people off. A new estimate predicts more than 10 million Americans would lose their health insurance.
We're not talking about living this life of luxury with Medicaid. We are honestly talking about this life and death and how do we provide for our child in our home.
Make more money, figure out ways to generate other sources of income, other ways to generate sources of income, residual income, coming up with ideas to help better your life. If you have kids, you want to make sure that they're fed, clothed, have shelter. I mean, you got to do anything you can. You can't completely rely on the government to get these handouts, and a lot of these things are getting eliminated. I know for people that are on welfare, a lot of them are getting bummed out because they actually have to meet a criteria and have to work if they're an abled body. From what I read, if they're an abled body, they need to go to work. I believe it's 20 hours a week at least to get the welfare benefits. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous that the government has to implement these type of things. Honestly, in my opinion, welfare shouldn't even exist. Any type of handouts from the government should not exist. All the Democrats are the main ones that want these kind of policies put in place because they want people to complain about everything, not work and contribute to society in this country, yet allow illegal immigrants to come into this country and reap the benefits of all the hardworking American citizens in this country that don't depend on the government for handouts. It's a little bit ridiculous. That's why I'm loving this administration, because they're all about work ethic. Everybody needs to get back to work. Get done, earn what you work for, provide for your family, grow, figure out ways to expand so you can live the life you want comfortably. Everybody in this country has the opportunities to make a living in your own comfort zone. People just are too afraid, they're too lazy, or they just want to depend on the government. And that's not what this country should be about, especially of all the brave men and women who have died serving this country to have what we have today. So I'm really glad that this bill got passed, and with these cuts, I believe now we're going to start seeing the effect. The American citizens are going to be seeing the effects of what's going on with this, with what's to come. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Like and subscribe, I would appreciate it. Till next time, peace out, everybody.